There is a hard truth most people spend their lives trying to avoid. The world does not reward potential. It rewards endurance. Many men and women walk through life carrying talent that never becomes achievement, dreams that never become reality, and ambitions that never survive the first serious storm. They wait for confidence before action. They wait for certainty before commitment. They wait for perfect conditions before beginning. And while they wait, life moves on without them. If there is one lesson history whispers through every generation, it is this: the distance between failure and greatness is often crossed by those who refuse to quit when quitting seems reasonable. Look around you. You will find countless people who started with enthusiasm. Few finish with determination. The beginning attracts crowds. The finish line attracts character. The greatest battles are rarely fought on open fields. They are fought in the silence of the human mind. They are fought when disappointment arrives, when criticism grows loud, when hope grows quiet, when effort produces no immediate reward. Those are the moments that reveal who a person truly is. I speak to you now not about comfort, but about strength. Not about ease, but about purpose. Not about what the world owes you, but about what you owe yourself. Because a life of meaning is never handed to anyone. It is built, brick by brick, decision by decision, day by day. Many people believe success belongs to the fortunate. They imagine that extraordinary lives are reserved for extraordinary circumstances. Yet history tells a different story. Again and again, greatness emerges from struggle. Again and again, leaders are forged in hardship. Again and again, the human spirit proves stronger than the obstacles placed before it. The question is not whether hardship will come. It will come. The question is what hardship will make of you. Will it harden your excuses or strengthen your character? Will it convince you to retreat or challenge you to rise? Every generation faces this choice. Every individual faces this test. The world may influence your circumstances, but it cannot decide your response. That decision belongs to you alone. There comes a moment in every life when excuses lose their power. A moment when blame no longer satisfies. A moment when a person realizes that waiting for rescue is the surest path to regret. That moment is the beginning of personal freedom. The day you accept responsibility for your future is the day your future begins to change. Not because the road becomes easier, but because you become stronger. And strength, once developed, becomes a force that no setback can permanently defeat. Today I want to share 10 timeless rules for success. Not rules built on trends. Not rules built on popularity. Rules forged in struggle, tested by adversity, and strengthened through perseverance. These principles have guided leaders, builders, dreamers, and ordinary people who chose to become extraordinary. If you understand them, they may change the course of your life. If you live them, they may change the person you become. And that is where our journey begins. The first rule for success is simple to understand and difficult to live. Take responsibility for your life.
Mm-hmm.
The moment a person begins blaming circumstances for every disappointment, growth comes to a halt. Responsibility is not a burden, it is power. When you accept responsibility, you reclaim control. You stop waiting for conditions to improve and begin improving yourself. The second rule is this: master your mind before you attempt to master your circumstances. Most defeats occur long before they become visible. They begin as private surrender, a silent agreement with fear, a quiet acceptance of limitation. The battlefield of success is first won within. A disciplined mind can survive temporary defeat. An undisciplined mind can turn small setbacks into permanent failures. The third rule is to embrace hardship. This is where many people turn away. They spend their lives seeking comfort. Yet comfort has never been the birthplace of greatness. Steel is strengthened by fire. Character is strengthened by adversity. The storms you fear may become the very forces that shape your future strength. There is wisdom hidden inside struggle. Pain teaches what comfort never can. Loss teaches what abundance often forgets. Failure teaches what success sometimes conceals. Every challenge carries a lesson for those willing to learn. The fourth rule is patience. In an age that worships speed, patience has become a rare virtue. People plant seeds in the morning and expect harvest by evening. They abandon worthy goals because progress appears slow. But nature itself teaches a different lesson. The strongest trees require years to mature. The deepest roots develop beneath the surface where no applause exists. Growth often occurs in silence. Progress often happens unseen. Patience is not passive waiting. It is disciplined faith in the process. It is the ability to continue working when visible rewards have not yet appeared. The fifth rule is integrity. A person may deceive others for a season, but no one can deceive themselves forever. Character is what remains when recognition disappears. Integrity is the promise you keep when nobody is watching. Many people focus on reputation. Few focus on character. Yet reputation depends upon the opinions of others. Character depends upon the decisions you make. One can be taken away. The other becomes part of who you are. Never sacrifice your principles for temporary gain. Shortcuts often arrive disguised as opportunities, but every compromise leaves a mark. Every dishonest victory carries a hidden cost. The strongest foundation for success is trust. Trust trust from others, trust in yourself, trust built through consistent action over time. When people know your word carries weight, doors begin to open. When you know your word carries weight, confidence begins to grow. These first 5 rules form the foundation of a meaningful life. Responsibility, mental discipline, strength through adversity, patience, integrity. Without them, success becomes fragile. With them, success becomes sustainable. Yet foundations alone do not build greatness. A structure must rise upon them. And in the next stage of this journey, we will explore the qualities that transform ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Because the road ahead demands more than talent. It demands courage. It demands resilience. And above all, it demands the willingness to continue moving forward when every reason to stop appears before you. That is where true greatness begins. The 6th rule for success is courage. Not the courage celebrated in stories. Not the courage that appears fearless. Real courage is quieter. It is the decision to move forward while fear walks beside you. Many people spend their lives waiting for fear to disappear. They believe confidence must arrive before action. But confidence is rarely the beginning. Action is the beginning. The brave are not those who feel no fear. They are those who refuse to surrender to it. Every worthwhile dream will eventually demand courage. The courage to stand alone. The courage to be misunderstood. The courage to continue when others lose faith. There are moments in life when no crowd will cheer for you. No one will understand your vision. No one will see the battles taking place inside your heart. In those moments, courage becomes your companion, and if you remain faithful to your purpose, courage will carry you farther than talent ever could. The 7th rule is resilience. Life has a way of testing every promise we make to ourselves. The road toward achievement is rarely straight. There will be setbacks. There will be disappointments. There will be days when the future appears uncertain and the burden feels heavy. Resilience is the ability to rise one more time, then you fall. It is the refusal to allow temporary defeat to become permanent surrender. History remembers many victories. What it often forgets to mention are the countless setbacks that came before them. Every significant accomplishment stands atop a mountain of unseen persistence. Behind every achievement lies a story of endurance. Behind every triumph lies a season of struggle. The 8th rule is self-control. This may be one of the most overlooked forms of strength. Many people seek power over others. Few seek power over themselves. Yet the person who cannot govern their emotions will eventually become governed by them. Anger can destroy opportunities. Impulsiveness can sabotage progress. Distraction can waste years. Self-control is not weakness. It is disciplined strength. It is the ability to remain calm when chaos surrounds you. It is the ability to remain focused when temptation calls for your attention. It is the ability to remain committed when comfort offers an easier path. The strongest leaders first learn to lead themselves. The strongest individuals first learn to master their habits. Every day, your habits cast votes for the person you are becoming. Small choices repeated consistently shape destiny. The future is not created in dramatic moments alone. It is created in daily decisions. A single hour invested wisely, a single promise kept, a single act of discipline repeated again and again. This is how transformation occurs. Not through sudden miracles, but through steady commitment. Rule 6 teaches you to face fear. Rule 7 teaches you to rise after failure. Rule 8 teaches you to govern yourself. Together, they create a foundation of inner strength that cannot easily be shaken by external circumstances. The world may challenge you. Critics may doubt you. Obstacles may slow your progress. But when courage guides your actions, resilience strengthens your spirit, and self-control directs your choices, you become difficult to defeat. And yet there are still two final rules, two principles that separate those who merely survive from those who leave a lasting impact. These final lessons concern purpose and persistence. For greatness is not measured by what you begin. It is measured by what you continue. And it is measured by the difference your life makes long after the applause has faded. The 9th rule for success is purpose. Without purpose, effort becomes scattered. Without purpose, discipline becomes difficult. Without purpose, even achievement can feel empty. Many people spend years climbing ladders only to discover they were leaning against the wrong wall. They chase recognition. They pursue status. They seek approval. Yet none of these can satisfy a soul that lacks direction. Purpose gives meaning to sacrifice. Purpose transforms ordinary work into a mission. Purpose provides strength when motivation disappears. There will be days when enthusiasm fades. There will be mornings when the path feels difficult. There will be seasons when results seem distant. Purpose is what keeps you moving when emotion no longer can. A person driven only by feelings will stop whenever feelings change. A person driven by purpose continues regardless. Ask yourself a simple question. What are you building? What kind of life are you creating? What kind of example are you becoming? The answers to those questions matter more than public applause. For in the end, a meaningful life is not measured by how much attention it receives. It is measured by how much value it creates. Purpose enlarges your vision. It teaches you to think beyond the present moment. It teaches you to invest in a future you may not yet see. The strongest builders often lay foundations they may never personally enjoy. Yet they build anyway, because purpose teaches a person to live for something greater than immediate gratification. The 10th and final rule is persistence. This rule ties all others together. Responsibility begins the journey. Discipline sustains it. Courage protects it. Resilience restores it. Purpose guides it. But persistence carries it across the finish line. Persistence is the quiet force that refuses to disappear. It is determination without drama. It is commitment without excuses. It is faithfulness to a worthy goal long after excitement has faded. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in a few weeks. At the same time, they underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade. The greatest transformations are often invisible while they are happening. A river does not carve through stone because it possesses explosive power. It succeeds because it continues day after day, year after year, without surrender, without complaint, without interruption. The same principle applies to human achievement. Success is often less about brilliance and more about consistency. Less about intensity and more about endurance. Less about talent and more about refusing to stop. Every great accomplishment in history required sustained effort. Not for a day, not for a month, but for years. Persistence turns setbacks into lessons. Persistence turns obstacles into stepping stones. Persistence turns dreams into realities. The individual who refuses to quit possesses an advantage that cannot easily be measured. While others become discouraged, they continue. While others become distracted, they remain focused. While others abandon the path, they keep walking. Eventually, the distance becomes impossible to ignore. The world often calls such people fortunate. Yet what appears to be fortune is frequently persistence revealed over time. These final two rules, purpose and persistence, elevate human potential into lasting achievement. Together, they transform effort into legacy. And as we approach the conclusion of this journey, there remains one final truth to remember. The greatest victories are not won over circumstances. They are won over the limitations that once lived within us. As we reach the end of this journey, I want you to remember something that many people spend a lifetime forgetting. Your future is not determined by the circumstances surrounding you today. It is determined by the decisions you make despite those circumstances. The world has always been filled with reasons to surrender. There has never been a shortage of obstacles. There has never been a shortage of critics. There has never been a shortage of uncertainty. Yet throughout history, ordinary men and women have risen above all three, not because they possessed special advantages, not because the road was easy, but because they chose strength over surrender. They chose responsibility over excuses. They chose purpose over comfort. And those choices changed everything. Perhaps you have known failure. Perhaps you have faced disappointment. Perhaps you carry regrets that still weigh heavily upon your heart. If so, understand this. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. The chapters already written cannot be changed. But the pages ahead remain blank. And within those blank pages exists extraordinary possibility. Every sunrise arrives with a question. Will you remain who you have been? Or will you become who you are capable of becoming? That question waits for every person, every day, every year, every season of life. The answer is never found in words alone. It is found in action. One disciplined decision, one courageous step, one honest effort, one more attempt after failure. That is how lives are transformed, not all at once, but steadily, powerfully. The 10 rules we have shared are not merely ideas. They are tools. Mental discipline, strength through adversity, patience, integrity, courage, resilience, self-control, purpose, persistence. These principles have guided people through hardship, uncertainty, and challenge for generations. They remain powerful because human nature has not changed. The battles may look different. The technology may advance. The world may move faster. But character still matters. Discipline still matters. Courage still matters. And perseverance still separates those who dream from those who achieve. Never underestimate the power of consistent effort. A single day may seem insignificant. A single choice may seem small. A single act of discipline may seem invisible. Yet days become years. Choices become habits. Habits become character. And character becomes destiny. The life you seek is often built through actions so small that others fail to notice them. But greatness has never required public attention. It requires private commitment. There will be moments ahead when doubt returns. There will be moments when progress feels slow. There will be moments when quitting appears easier than continuing. When those moments arrive, remember this. The strongest oak was once an acorn that refused to give up. The mightiest river was once a stream that refused to stop flowing. And every remarkable life was once an uncertain beginning that refused to surrender. Do not measure yourself by where you stand today. Measure yourself by the direction you are moving. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep building. Keep walking forward. For the future belongs not to the strongest, the loudest, or the most fortunate. It belongs to those who continue, those who endure, those who remain faithful to their purpose when the road grows difficult. One day you will look back upon your life. When that day comes, may you be able to say, I faced adversity and grew stronger. I faced fear and moved forward. I faced failure and learned. I faced hardship and endured. I did not waste the gifts I was given. I did not surrender my character. I did not abandon my purpose. And because I continued, I became more than I once believed possible. That is the path. That is the challenge. That is the opportunity before you now. Stand tall. Walk forward. And let your life become living proof that perseverance, character, and courage can still change the course of a human destiny. The next chapter is waiting. Begin today.